The Music of the Trees by Charles A. Heath. How I love to hear the rustle of the leaves upon the trees, when the foliage of summer is moving in the breeze, when the oak and the beech and the maple are tuning up the air as they hear the quaking aspen singing signals everywhere. The deciduous forest people are a music-making band, with their symphonies so simple that a child can understand. Welcome to this month's LLK12. Focus on nature, the world outside, full of opportunities to learn, to grow, to experience, to explore, to be active. The best way to learn about the great outdoors? Inside the library with a book. A great way to prepare or enhance your outdoor nature studies is by first visiting the Blount County Public Library, in person or online. We have great books here for you to use to prepare to make the most of your time outdoors. Let me just mention a couple places you can go to find some really good books if you're looking at being intentional about studying nature and spending more time outside. First of all, check out the book lists in the Blount County Library catalog. Go over to lists, and there's all sorts of topics that have to do with nature and growing things and outdoors and the nature of the Smoky Mountain area. So you might get some good ideas there. Some other great books that we have here at the Blount County Public Library is Outdoor Kids in an Indoor World, Getting Your Family Out of the House and Radically Engaged with Nature. Last Child in the Woods is a good book as well that we have. There's No Such Thing as Bad Weather, A Scandinavian Mom's Secrets for Raising Healthy, Resilient, and Confident Children. Bringing Nature Home, 1,000 Hours Outside, Activities to Match Screen Time with Green Time. So there's a lot of books if you're looking for some inspiration to kind of get your mindset around what you're planning to do in the outdoors this year. Some other things that I think are really cool, or other books that are really cool to have with you, is the National Geographic Field Guides. You can get one of their field guides to backyard birds, and you can use that with your students and with your kids to kind of look. It's like, what kind of bird is that? And actually look it up. We have also in our family routinely carried with us the books on identifying flowers and identifying trees. So all sorts of the Nat Geo field guides are just going to take it to the next level. Instead of just like, look at that beautiful flower, it's like, let's describe it. Let's think of how we would describe that, the color, the types of ways that the petals are, and then let's look it up and learn what kind of flower it is. So lots of ways to prepare for your time outside. Other things that you can do: watch documentaries with our streaming services, Canopy and Hoopla. Visit the Seed Library here at the library. One of the cool things that you can do with kids during the summer is let them grow something. Let them take it from the beginning to the end, and let them make mistakes in the way. They're probably going to kill a few plants, and that's fine, because how do we learn in life? So many times we learn by being allowed to make the mistakes. Another thing that you can do this summer is be intentional with your kids about observing nature. Maybe give them a nature book and ask them to describe things that they see in nature, or even sketch and draw out little pictures of the flowers or the trees or the bugs or the animals that they see. In fact, one thing that I think is really cool is maybe get a small plot of land, maybe even put little sticks and put a little string around it, and then have your kiddos go out there every day, or maybe at different times of the day, and just observe that small plot of land. What do they see? What kind of animals do they see? They're probably going to see bugs. Maybe they see tracks of other animals. Maybe they see new things sprouting and starting to grow. So just that conscious deliberate going out and observing very closely. A really cool magnifying glass is really almost just as good as a microscope in looking at nature and seeing what's out there. Watching the ants as they march on, and then go read and learn more about them. Keep a tally of the number of birds that you see in your backyard. Pay attention to that. And then, of course, one of the best things that you can do is let your kids have unstructured time in nature. I think one of the best things that we can do for kids to get them learning is to let them get bored. Because when they're bored is when they get real creative, and when they start looking at things like, how can I make this fun? What can I do in the outdoors, and use their imagination? So don't be afraid of letting them have unstructured time in nature. Don't be afraid of letting them get bored. I know one summer when my son was small, he asked if he could dig a hole in the backyard. And at first my answer was no, don't be digging holes in my backyard. And my husband's like, he's little, how much damage could he do? Just let him dig a hole. Well, little did we know that was going to be an all summer and most of the fall project for him. Anytime he was bored, he was obviously born. Anytime he was bored, he would go out there and work on digging that hole, which turned into a trench, which turned in an opportunity to look at kind of the layers of the ground as he went deeper. And he went deeper than we ever expected. So years later, my husband had to do a major fix to fix that hole in the ground. But it was fun. It was an activity. It was the product of being bored. And there was a lot of nature that was learned during that time period. Also the opportunity, and we did this online, it's like if you dug a hole straight in our backyard all the way through the earth, where on the other side of the world would you end up? And we got to talk about that and dream about that and imagine that and read some books on that other side of the world. So make sure that you're just kind of looking for those opportunities. Outdoor museums, chasing waterfalls. There's so much in this area with the Smoky Mountains and even just the Greenbelt in the Maryville-Alcoa area. Let the child be responsible for something like the garden, as I mentioned. And then also even maybe let them build something with you this summer. Maybe a small raised garden bed. And there's a lot of math and planning and measuring and cutting. And kids love to feel like they're doing adult things. And they're actually learning as you do that. So I encourage you to spend some time and think of ways that you can maximize outdoor time with your students and really use it as a learning opportunity. You know, one thing that I would always do with my son is at the end of the school year, we would go out for pizza, and we would sit there and have our pizza, and we would make a dream list for the summer, like places we wanted to go that summer, or things we wanted to see, or let's spend more time at the lake, or whatever it was. Now, some of the dreams, were just dreams, but just to talk about them. And then we made a list, and we did get to do, because we were intentional, we got to do quite a few of those outdoor activities during the summer. For there's meaning in the rhythm and a pleasure among the trees when the wind is blowing through them and a stirring of all the leaves. There's an overture and whispers which is soothing to the ear, then the chorus full of comfort, just a chasing out your fear. As the louder it is sounding and the louder yet again, till at last our joys abounding when it falls in sweet refrain. Yes, it brings you heaps of solace when the wind is blowing soft and the lullaby of nature, which will bear you way aloft, till you leave this world of trouble with its fretting and its care, as you listen to the rustle of the leaves a-playing there. Oh, I love to stop and hearken to the music of the trees as the wind is soughing through them or playing with the leaves. There's a harmony that holds you in the noises of the wood, where I never tire of listening, for it does a fellow good. Thank you for joining us for this month's LLK12. Now, get out of here. Get out in nature. Get out. Go outside. What you doing here? It's here. Learning to... So, get out of here.